Hey yo, stay tuned for that part 3 to that Kids with Guns, you heard? Part 3 is starting off in Brownsville, Brooklyn. Be on the lookout. Hey yo, make sure you check that part 2 to that Super Trife Low Lifes, you heard? I'ma leave the link in the comment section pinned. So when you go to the comment section, you'll see the link and you can just click on that. You heard? Shout out to InSource TV. Hey yo, shout out to the bro Morley, you heard? Camden, New Jersey was popping. If you from Camden out there, make sure you leave a comment. Let me know what block, what Ave, what street, what side of Camden you reppin'. You feel me? If you from Jersey, make sure you hit them comments up too. Nah, I mean, Z-Lord, man. You know I keep it popping for Jersey. Nah, I mean, this East Coast thing is serious over here, baby. We united over here, baby. But yeah, man, send me an email at thegenpopllc@gmail.com if you need promo. You heard my promo prices. It's the best in the business, baby. Best in the business. I got promo levels from 100 cash all the way to 1,000. You heard? Get at me. And I get you popping out here. And that's a whole fact. You heard? You already snow bunny. You love what I'm doing. Feel free to send me a Cash App donation. $ Gen Pop fam.
But that day, yeah, man, I think I might have seen one black cop out of all them guys that was out there trapping. st.laz, there might have been like 1 or 2 black cops. Everybody else was white. And they was, they yelling the name of the dope and everything. They out there yelling, yo, Scarface, Scar. I'm like, I couldn't believe it. I woke up one morning for school, you know what I mean? And on my way to school, well, not even on my way to school, I was pretending I was on my way to school, you know what I mean? I'm fronting the move for moms and all that. I get dressed in, and I'm the oldest of 4, so I normally, my routine is I take my little brothers and sisters to school, make sure they get to school safe. I ride, this was my freshman year in high school at that time, from 03 to 04. So I would ride the public transportation bus to school, and I had seen, I walked up to the block to trap out that day. And my big cousin on my dad's side is kind of running the block early that morning, and it's a diesel block. So, and it cracked. I mean, it's a block that do numbers. $1 million block is well known in North Camden. So, my cousin, he telling me, I pretty much begging him to get on. We was kind of hurting and stuff like that, the crib and stuff. And Pops wasn't around and stuff like that. So, this is basically, I wanted to give you a story about how, I went to school one day. Well, not even going to school. I went to the bus stop. I was trying to, get on the block and hug. But, my cousin told me, nah, because Task Force was trapping the bundles out. You heard?
What you mean? I'm already recording. What you mean? The police out there was getting money?
Yeah, listen, st.laz, yo, I woke up from school one morning, I get to the block, and I'm like, cuz, what's up? Is we on? Is we grinding today? And he like, look, man, I normally would, but today, we might not even open back up. The block closed. And I'm like, what do you mean? He's like, man, Task Force is out. And I'm like, okay, they gonna leave eventually. It's gonna get shaken again. So, I'm trying to stick around the block and, get to $1. So my big cuz telling me, and shout out to my big cousin Willie, you know what I'm saying? He a real sturdy and stamped guy from out North Camden. And born and raised, you know what I mean? But my big cousin was telling me nah, Task Force is out, and they got the bundle somehow. And I'm like, what do you mean? So I'm just thinking, Task Force making a big bus, they on the block shutting it down, and they basically just shutting the block down because they made a big bus. But to my surprise, man, he had told me to walk around the corner to where Task Force was at, because I had my book bag on. I'm still looking like a minor, you know what I mean? I'm 14, but in my hood, we start young, and we get off the porch kind of early, so I kind of looked at, kind of young, so he was like, go around there and see what's going on, and I walked around the block, and them dudes was out there trapping, Laz. They was all built like juggernauts, man. These guys had on black balaclavas with Nike baseball, football gloves, man, and all black with big vests, couple unmarked wearing black hoodies and stuff, but them guys was out there trapping, man. I seen it with my eyes, Laz. It was unbelievable, because I've heard of people, getting in trouble and getting rained down on, and task force they gonna take what they could take, but and a lot of states, it's dirty cops around too, and cops that ain't by the book too, so a lot of stuff can happen, but in such a small city like Camden, you know what I mean, it's such a small city, you can get around the whole city in 8 miles, so a lot of the things that I've seen like that happen in this small city, man, you can see things like that everywhere else, but man, a lot of that stuff you're not going to really see nowhere else because it's such a trenchy city, and Camden is such a forgotten about city in New Jersey, let alone America, you know what I mean? A lot of that stuff don't get publicized. We really just started getting attention probably about a good 8-9 years ago on a lot of stuff that was going on out there because our whole police force damn near got fired, you know what I mean?
Yeah, man, like 3 mayors from Camden went to jail for corruption.
Yeah, man, Milton Milan, yeah, it's a few of them, man, and it's been like that since I was born in '89, but I heard it's been like that for a while, man, and Camden always been one of them cities where like crime and corruption kind of overrules the vast majority of the good that happens in the city, you know what I mean? Because it's such a small city, so before you see a lot of the good, there's so much bad that happen that you can't overlook the bad because there's so much happening.
That shit used to be, it used to be the murder capital of America at one point.
Yeah, st.laz, and I had moved to Florida in '07 pretty much like right just before it happened, and that happened because of the gang wave when it hit Camden, New Jersey, you know what I mean? We always had like Hispanic gangs, the Latin Kings was out there for a while, we had Dominican, neighborhood gangs and stuff like that, but where I'm from, in New Jersey, in South Jersey, it wasn't flagging like that, so you kind of really don't even really know who's who unless you really knowing who's who, if you get what I'm saying. You got to really know what's going on, so if you know what's going on and you in tune with the trenches, you kind of know who's who around, but it wasn't that many, killings and stuff like that to that degree, to that gang wave hit when them Bloods and stuff, and that stuff hit Camden, New Jersey, it hit like a ton of bricks, and it kind of like overcame the youth's mind out there, man. I got family that's all type of gangs, that's in a few different gangs, man, and it ain't a color thing, man. It's usually about blocks up there, you know what I'm saying? But that gang wave took over, and it made the city real treacherous, man, because it was like we wasn't just killing and beefing over the money because the petty stuff like women, but now it's like people trying to stand on business because of their gang and trying to show the OGs that they deserve to be around and can hang with them guys, you know what I mean? It's like Camden is one of them cities where it's like not who's the tough, everybody want to be a tough guy, you know what I mean? It's like who's the toughest gladiator in the room, you know what I'm saying? And pretty much a lot of guys I grew up with out there got that tight chip on their shoulder, you know what I mean? Even I did until I got out of Camden and got to see other things, you know what I'm saying? My dad had to tell me because I came down to Florida a while, you know what I'm saying? Getting active on people, and my dad like, yo, you don't even gotta do all that, like you ain't even in Camden no more, like you could chill out here, like I'm like, then it had to hit me, you know what I mean? I came of age down here in Florida, but I grew up and did a lot of my dirt in Camden, and I've been in the juvenile system in Camden since I was 13, and I got off down here in Florida. I even came down to Florida as a juvenile fugitive. I ended up taking them on the run and all that, but yeah, man, we seen task force out there trapping, and they was the unmarked guys and just plain clothes was waving the fiends that's pulling up asking for bags and all that. The unmarked guys is basically telling them, we got it, how many you need, get out the car, come to the alleyway. And
what you said, they was pumping other niggas packs that they found, or they had their own shit?
Nah, I guess they found a runner that morning, or they hit the stash house. They knew where the stash house was, and they kicked that door like 5, 6 that morning, real type early. So by the time I woke up and and got ready for school and all that, the block usually open like around 5, but I got to the block like 7:30, almost 8. By the time I got out there, they was out there full-fledged trapping, yelling dope out. I couldn't believe it, Laz. I seen New Jersey State Task Force. I seen them people yelling dope out and trapping bundles, and after they would sell to the fiends, you know what they was doing, Laz? What? These guys had an ambulance because they would call the fiends to an alley, fake serve them or take their money. The task force was beating the shit. Excuse my language. Am I allowed to use crazy language, or can you correct that later?
Yeah, you can say what you want to say.
Alright, so look, the task force st.laz trash. They beating shit down the fiend's legs. Like every fiend that come through there, and I ain't watching it, but you can hear it. We kind of like scared to peek around the corner because when they saw me the first time, they like, yo, what is you doing? Come here. And they see my book bag, so they realized I was a minor. They was about to get up on me, like, yo, they snapped on me, like, yo, get the fuck out of here. We see you again, we gonna fuck you up. Get off the fucking corner. So I'm like, oh shit. I walk back around the corner of my cousin, like, yo, it's real, like, you right. He's like, yeah. I'm like, yo, so the block closed, cuz? Like, hell yeah, until further notice. Like, what, you trying to go out there now? I'm like, nah.
What you said they was doing to the fiends, they was beating them up.
Yeah, they was serving them, and then after they served them and take the money, they was beating them up, and they had an ambulance parked ass. The ass was facing towards the other end of the alley, so they was beating them up and putting them on a gurney and wheeling them right into the ambulance after they beat them up and took the money. And I don't even think the task force was turning none of that in. They was literally trapping it out. Yeah, lad, they was beating the fiends up and putting them in a gurney, and the ambulance was taking the fiends, you know, and if they was able to walk up after the ass whooping and shake back and stumble out, you know, the state police was letting them get up out of there, get in their cars and all that, but some of them got beat up real bad. The ambulance had to take them down to the hospital, you know,
Why you think they was beating them niggas up for, though?
Yo, st.laz, I never understood, but if you from Camden, you kind of know, like, when task force is out, they usually come out Thursdays and Sundays, sometimes Tuesdays if it's pumping too hard. They might try to shut it down a little early, but they always use violence with us. Like, even as a kid, we either train in Camden, you either gonna stay there when they hop out, or you gonna run for your life, because once you run, you know it's no turning back. If you stop and they catch you, man, they gonna beat shit down your leg. They done did that to one of my cousins on my mom's side, you know what I mean? Did my cousin dirty, because, you know, they pulled up on him on the block asking where the rocks was at, and he kicked the rock to him. Literally, that was on the ground, was like, oh, they right here. And he took off running. And he made it all the way home, and right as he got to the door, they hopped out and caught my cousin. But those was the narcs that did that to my cousin. But the police violence in Camden, I don't know how it is now, because I ain't been up there and been in the streets like that. You know, my family's still up there and everything like that, but I'm still down in South Florida. But the police always use that as a tactic with us, and I'm thinking that was more or less as like a brute force tactic to keep the hood, you know, shook. Because if the next block, let's say I'm from 5th Street, right, but if 6th Street and 4th Street got a block and they trapping too, if they heard how they was beating us all up after they caught us, or whoever ran and they caught them, you know, I'm pretty sure the next block gonna shut their operation down too before they even can make it there. You know what I mean? So I'm pretty sure it was a scare tactic, and it was just a way to impose like the power on the people in our neighborhood that was, you know, into the streets and getting money like that. It was just a way for them to, you know, scare us into not doing that. You know what I mean? But where I'm from, we doing it anyway. We starting 13, 14, you know what I mean? I started off 13 doing it, getting money, and it turned me out. And I kind of dropped out of 8th grade, man. It turned me out, man. That paper turned me out, man. That dope money up there, that H money is prolific, man. And I was up there right when it, you know, at the last leg of that era where, you know, it was really pumping like that, because it was an open air market. And you can't do that now in Camden because they got so many cameras, and, you know, they got the shot spotters dang near on every block. So it's like you can't even really get into it and trap and make your moves and thug how you used to really get down, because everything being surveilled, and the cops got like a response timing of like less than 60 seconds or something. Like it's some crazy time that they allowed to pull, that they have to pull up once that shot spotter go off. And it's true. I was up there, you know, a couple years ago, and yeah, I heard it was a bang out somewhere in the hood, and yeah, just like the rumors and like they say, I seen about 6-7 cars fly by less than 30 seconds after I heard the last shot go off. So, you know, all the violence with police up there always been a thing. Like, even my uncles and my dad, you know, because I come from a family of hustlers, even my grandma, you know what I mean? They always been like, the police always been like that in Camden, man. Always been brutal like that, you know what I'm saying?
So how was Camden operating? Like, in sections, what parts don't mess with other parts, or?
Yeah, Camden, alright, so Camden is a city you can get around literally in 8 miles. It's in an 8-mile radius. We probably got like about 89, 90,000 people. The city is broken up into sections, basically how New York, you know, and do boroughs, you know what I'm saying? And they got their own names. Like, I'm from North Camden, that's the most northern side of the city, and that's where the city of Camden was founded on. It started in North Camden, and then they expanded and built it outward, and the city expanded further and further. But I'm from the most historical parts of the city, and you got North Camden, and then we got East Camden. You got Kramer Hill before you get to East. It's a little subsection of Camden. It's kind of connected. And we got AV, you got Pollock, Centerville, downtown, Fairview. It's a lot of different boroughs in Camden, like, you know what I mean? Little sections, but the city's small, so you got to know the boroughs is even smaller than that. But growing up in Camden, man, it was rough for me and my family, so we was kind of bouncing around from, borough to borough, so I kind of like got a face card in my city where I know a lot of people and stuff, because I done played ball and went to a lot of schools, and just kind of, my family's like, I got like the biggest family in my city, so I kind of like know a lot of people. I'm always in every borough of the city at a family member's house and stuff like that. But the city is broken up into different boroughs, man, and that's how I go. In certain boroughs, you back in the day, like saying early 90s to early 2000s, right? I see from like early 90s to early 2000s, you used to be able to walk through Camden and go from North Camden and walk all the way down south to the bottom leg to Centerville to Fairview. You used to be able to walk through different parts of different cities, but now it's like with that gang wave, that kind of made everything a little different, because now it's like everybody want to know who you is now, you know what I mean? With the colors and stuff like that, so it kind of changed stuff, man. But you used to be able to walk around the city and all that, but now it's like North Camden, we was cool with a lot. We pretty much cool with East Camden, Kramer Hill, and a few different parts of the city. But it's more or less like who you know in the blocks that's beefing. Like you could be from North Camden and have Pollock people around you. You could bring different people, and you can go to different areas. It's just about who you are and who you around the company you keep. You know what I mean? People will try you based off of your rep and who they know, if they know you're going to get busy or not. If they know you're going to shake some, you know what I'm saying? Now, there's people that's going, approach you and get busy anywhere, but, a lot of times, it's like the person, how you carry yourself. If you carry yourself real sturdy and you honorable, you really can go anywhere in the city, you know what I'm saying? Like, I got a face card where I could pretty much go anywhere in the city, you know what I'm saying? I ain't really got no crazy ops or nothing like that. Like, you know what I mean? I played sports growing up. I trapped and hustled growing up, but, wasn't making too many enemies, man. But certain sides just be for certain sides because of like high school drama and stuff, like, how I go. And then after you graduate high school, I guess if you get chipped or somebody gets smoked, ain't nobody gonna lay it down. So it get ugly like that. But the city it's usually not about like where you from. It's about who you know and what you got going on as an individual. Man, I just was watching FBI Files the other day, man. We got people like Crazy Charlie, man. He was a renowned bank robber, man. He was on the episode. They got a whole episode of FBI Files just profiling him and his crew. You got a lot of people that's OGs, and that's from my dad and uncle and them era that I was brought up around. I wasn't really in rubbing shoulders with these guys, but it's a lot of famous people, and that's the thing about Camden. It's really a person that shine and that get busy in every borough. So you can't say it was really one person really shining, because we get money in North, but just like where I'm from on my block, 2 blocks over, they crunching numbers. That's $1 million block too. So they got hitters and they got guys that's getting fresh and pulling out Benzes and trucks with the spinners and getting busy and cooking stuff too. So it's like every hood, every block got a fly dude or that dude that get money, or that group of guys that's hitters. Like, that's the thing about Camden. It ain't one dude. It's action everywhere. St.laz, we getting busy and shaking everywhere. But the guys that really make noise in the city, they really made noise from getting a lot of dope money and crack money back in the 80s. A lot of guys get their hustle from North, man. A lot of guys just, got their starts out in North Camden and was raised out there and learned their game and they hustle from out North. Because we start early, and like I was saying earlier, we get off the porch kind of young out there, you know what I'm saying? We more advanced than a lot of other people in the city, you know what I'm saying? As far as like, and a lot of places is treacherous and rough in the city, but when you from North Camden, I ain't gonna lie, you gonna be about $1. That's one thing about North Camden, I can tell you, we about $1, man, and we like to get fly, man. Like North Camden basically is the Harlem of Camden, you know what I mean? And then you got, I say, Pollock, which is like the Brooklyn, you know what I mean? Centerville, Pollock is like the Brooklyn of Camden. And then you can say East Camden is like the Bronx of Camden, you know what I mean? And then we got Crimin Hill, which might be like like Coney Island in Brooklyn, you know, a little subset, you know what I'm saying? Then you got downtown, that's basically like lower Manhattan, you know what I'm saying? It's a lot going on down there too, but it looked real rough because it used to be an old port town, you know what I'm saying? So a lot of families moved there in hopes that they was going to get a lot of money at the ports and, you know, steel factories and mills and stuff like that, but they shut that down a long time ago. In the city, you know, didn't have a lot of money and you know, attractions and stuff like that. So a lot of people just messed up in the city, man. There's a lot of people getting a lot of money everywhere because they was kind of forced to do that. You know what I'm saying? We had nothing for so long in Camden. You know what I mean? So it's a lot of renowned people that's from the city, st.laz. I can't even sit here and point one person out because I know people I know millionaires, man. You know what I'm saying? Guys that did it big and that never told, that did their time. And, you know, a lot of people did tell and stuff too. You know, we got people that's not solid and that's going to do rat shit everywhere, you know what I'm saying? You can't help that, but, you know, we known for a lot of money getters in Camden and people that, you know, that smackers, you know what I'm saying? They say that out here in Florida, but up there in New Jersey, you know, we like to say niggas that get busy, you know what I'm saying? We know for niggas that get busy and get money, you know what I'm saying? And we get off the porch early out there, so I know, like, my brother was, you know, and shout out to my uncle, you know what I'm saying, my Theo, but he was a big figure back in the 80s, you know what I'm saying? My little brother dad was a big figure back in the 80s. He ran with a crew of guys that was getting busy in the city called the Sons of Malcolm X. You know what I'm saying? I got family and I know people that's been getting it for years, man, that come from lineages of hustlers and people that's getting money and smackers and stuff, man. I ain't gonna lie, it's a small city, but it's a lot that's going on in it, st.laz. It's a lot that's going on in it. Word up.
Nah, I know Camden always been crazy.
Yeah, man, and I had another little story too for you, man. This was a juvenile detention story that I wanted to tell you. You heard? I don't know if you got enough time. How much time you got left?
I got some
I can run it by you real quick.
Let's go.
So, you know, like I said, since 13, I grew up in the juvenile detention, through the juvenile justice system in New Jersey, in South Jersey, and Camden in particular. But I remember it was probably like my second bid because I had my first bid. I got probation. They gave me like a slap on the wrist, and I stopped reporting the probation. And then I turned myself in. You know, it looked kind of good, so I turned myself in before they could catch me. And they gave me a program that used to pick me up from about 8 in the morning to about 6 p.m. And after like 4 or 5 months there, I took them on a run. I wasn't really rocking with the program. You know, we went to school there all day. I felt like I was still in jail, you know what I'm saying? I was still going home every day, but I ain't like the program, so I took them on a run. And in the process of me taking them on a run, I think I was on a run probably for about a good 4 or 5 months, and I got caught up. And when I got caught up on a block, it was they ain't catch me with no work and that, but they caught me leaving the alleyway and everything. So they kind of took me, and then, you know, they caught the fiend with the work. And the fiend, you know, I guess the fiend told on me or whatever, you know what I'm saying? So the cop just took me in because they couldn't find my stash. My stash was A1, and they walked past it like a good 3-4 times, but they didn't find it. But I went to Juvie, and I was in there for probably about a good month or two, and it was about the wings in juvenile detention center. This juvenile detention center is called Lakeland. And in Lakeland, the wings are lettered. So you got A wing, B wing, C wing, and D wing. And I guess by your age and your offenses, they put you in a wing. So the A wing was for the younger kids, the B wing a little bit younger than them, or maybe older, or guys in my age bracket that couldn't handle our wing. So they put them with the guys that, you know, with the younger cats, you know, so they could, you know, be peaceful and do their bid and all that, and them wings. But during this particular incident, man, I remember it was a playoff game, and the Eagles was playing the Redskins, and this one, Donovan McNabb was on the Eagles, Brian Dawkins, they had Brian Westbrook, Duke Staley, had a nice little squad. I think T.O. was out there, or this might have been right before T.O. got there. I think it might have been a couple years, but nonetheless, you know what I'm saying? It's probably about lockup time, and we pretty much begging these COs, you know what I mean? Yo, give us like 10 more minutes. It's in the fourth, it's real close, you know what I'm saying? So we had a new inmate come in probably early that week. It was probably like a Friday or Sunday when we watched it, like Sunday or Monday. And the inmate came in, he was a younger cat, but he was from the burbs, and we kind of, you could, when you from Camden and you end up in a detention center in Lakeland, or you go to J-Rack, like I heard your story the other day when your man from New Jersey was telling the story about when he was up in Jamesburg and all that, and that's real, you know what I'm saying? I ain't never make it to Jamesburg and get my state number, but I was damn near about to do it, you know what I'm saying? I was about to do a 5-year stretch if I had violated it again, but my PO, like, she had this ultra super duper humanity in her heart, and she ain't violate me because I took him on a run and came to Florida. But she, you know, she transferred the paperwork and all that, you know what I mean, and really blessed me. And they still sent the marshals down here to Florida just to let me know that they could have did it. You know what I mean? But we watching that Eagles game, and this new dude that came in with a cast on his arm. Only thing was shown was the tip of his fingers, right? And the cast went up to his elbow. So when the new guy come to the wing, I'm in the C wing. And that, you know, the only wing after that is the D wing, and it's the older cats up in that joint, but it's older cats up in this wing too. I'm in like the second most treacherous wing in that joint, you know what I mean? So it's stuff is going down, people rocking and all that, you know what I mean, every day, and it's going down. So you got to really move carefully, and if you cool with the COs, and if you know how to move correct, and you ain't making it hot and all that, and making the CO's job hard, you know what I mean, they'll give you a little juice, they'll let you stay out to watch that game for a little bit. So if you one of them ones, they'll let you stay out. So this was a night where, you know, they let a few of them ones stay out there a little longer, you know what I mean? And they locked up everybody else. And me and a couple of people, you know, was one dude from our city, and he's one of the main characters that's involved in the story. Cause I grew up with him in the city. My family know his family, and we not family or nothing like that, but it's like kind of close, you know what I mean? But we watching the game, and you know how guys is with the testosterone in the game on this playoff time, you know what I'm saying? We all talking our shit. You know what I mean? And I ain't no Eagles fan. I'm a Kansas City Chiefs fan, but, you know, I'll say secondly after that, I'm an Eagles fan. But, you know, I'm going for the Eagles against the Redskins, you know what I'm saying? So, I'm hoping we get the dub. Game cool. We all talking our shit, you know what I'm saying? It's probably about 7, 8 of us they let stay out the cells until the game was over. And then, you know, for some reason, the new dude was still out of cell that just came in. He ain't no COs. He ain't had no juice or nothing. Like, but I guess he was cool or new or something like that, but he was out there with us. He might have been cleaning, I think. I think he might have been on cleaning duty, sweeping the floor, mopping and all that at the end of the night. But my man, I'm gonna call him GP, man. My man GP, you know, I'm sitting right next to him. We in front of we in the chair right in front of the TV. You know what I'm saying? So we really watching the game and we into it. But the new dude came in with, and you know, the new guys that come in, you get a blue jumper when you've been in there, I think after like 30 days or something like that. But if you do, you get like a yellow jumper or something like that for like your first week or something like that, or a month. That's how it was back then. And he had his yellow jumper on, so we kind of knew it was the new dude. And he, you know, he had the cast on his arm. But so him and GP, they watching the game, and we, you know, we riled up. We kind of making a little noise, making it hot. But you know, we also at the same time we'll catch ourselves. All right, yo, chill. Yeah, so my man's GP sitting next to me. You know what I'm saying, it's my man's from the area. I done played Little League football with him. My dad, uncles know his dad. Uncles, like, it damn near his family, but it's not. You know what I mean? He from another part of the city. He from East. I'm from North, but we really know each other, and our families is close. So it's kind of the rapport between me and him was always solid. We never had no problems or nothing like that. We always was cool. When I seen my show Love, I went to high school with him and everything, like Fly, Cat, and all that. Like, Get Money. He one of them ones from the city, but you know what I mean? The moral of this story that I'm gonna make clear is, you know what I'm saying, it kind of don't really matter who you is and what you from, yo, and you can't put judgment past no man. You know what I'm saying? And this is what I learned watching this, because as we watching the game, the new cat that's in there with the cast on his arm, he rooting for Philly when Philly get it first, when Philly score a touchdown, when Redskins get a touchdown, he yelling, he cheering for them too. So my man GP kind of get a little mad, like he aggy, like, yo, like, dick riding, like, yo, who was you going for? And then, like, we could tell how he talking on that. He ain't from the city. He not using no type of terminology. Like, he talking kind of square, so we could tell he from the birds, he from up the highway, and we could tell. But, you know what I mean? We letting him rock out because we don't know him, you know what I mean? He been like how we been. So, you know, he wasn't really speaking to many people, so nobody really knew nothing about him. And a few people that I knew asked him what he was there for and all that, but he was kind of being like, he was being a hermit about it. Like, he wasn't trying to tell people why he was in there, what the cast was about. But I'm gonna tell you what happened after this story, man. And you know, so my man GP, like, yo, bro, like, he turns around and faces him, like, during a commercial or something like that. When we all wasn't watching, so everybody kind of looking at GP because GP one of the dudes in the wing. So he start talking to the boy. He start kind of screaming on him like, yo, get the fuck out of here! Like, you dick riding, you heard? Like, you sounding weird as fuck. Like, yo, get the fuck out of here! Like, he telling the CL like, yo, CL, like, lock him up. Like, he acting weird. Like, get this corny nigga away from me. Like, so the dude like, what? Like, all right. He walks off nonchalant. Like he start pushing the broom, pushing the mop again. Laz, you heard? But like a nigga like me, I know when a nigga rocking you to sleep. You know what I mean? I thought my nigga GP was on to it too, cause the man just hit him with the what? Now usually anybody from where we from, you would talk to a Camden man like how my man GP was talking to this dude. Somebody would have been random. He wouldn't have finished his sentence. Nigga would have ran in his mouth already. Wah. What you mean? Cheer for anybody I want. So like, we was kind of like, you know, it was like it blew over after you know the man walked off with the broom and everything. But we was still like, damn, that was type crazy. Like, Don, you know, GP snapped on the man. You know what I'm saying? So we like, damn, like that shit almost got weird just now. But anyway, the game back on. So the game on, we all into the game, man. You know what I'm saying? And St.laz. I don't fucking know how this nigga electric slided moonwalked up next to us. But Nayo, next thing I know, this man was standing right next to us. Like next to me, I'm on the left of GP. This dude walks up and basically is standing in front of the dude sitting next to him watching the game. And GP ain't noticing because he's still in the game. The game, like, you know, the game is live. So we really into the game, but I peeked him walk up. The yellow jumper, you can't avoid it. So I'm looking like, what does he want? Why is he in our face? And yo, the man picked that cast up, bro, swung it like a Louisville slugger, you heard, Laz? And he hit GP square in the face with it, like not in the forehead, not Nick. He caught him full-fledged with like the middle of the forearm part and bent it back like he was, you know what I mean? Dolomite going to work on one of his bitches that came up short, you know what I mean? Like, he pulled that cast back and whammed it, boom! And when he hit him, my man just let out a screech like, ah! Like, he started screaming like, I ain't never heard nothing like that in my life. And we all was caught by surprise. And I kind of wanted to get in it and fight and rock out for my man, but it was a one-on-one, you feel me? It wasn't like a jump situation where somebody was trying to get up, they was trying to do my man's, and it was a one-on-one, so I kind of had to like sit there and let him be a man and see what he was going to do. But, you know what I mean, he ain't rock out, you know what I mean? The COs had came and split it up before my man could even get a punch off, but my man's ain't even, to be honest, he ain't even want to get off. You know what I mean? I think that Cass, he put too much pain in on him too fast. You know what I mean? He couldn't fathom what was happening. Like, I'm sitting right next to him when that happened. Like, I almost got up and swung on him because I'm like, what is you doing? But I'm like, dang, like, his quarrel was with GP, you know what I mean? Because GP kind of went off on him in front of everybody. When you bitten and all that, if you make a scene like that and you so-called, try and riff on somebody like that, it's supposed to be smoke coming behind that, you know what I mean? So I don't think it was I think it might have been GP first bid, and he might not been too familiar with bidding because I kind of already seen it coming, you know what I mean? My man GP just didn't see it coming. It caught him totally by surprise. He didn't even see the dude get up on him. Like, he got up on him so close, so quick, I couldn't even tap him like, yo, look. He was already right there, and swung that cast like a Louisville last, and he broke my man's face up with, I think he might have made him bleed or something like that. You know what I mean? The COs came and tackled him and all that. But I think like a day or two after that happened, we was watching the news, and they had put him in a hole or sent him to another wing by then. But a day or so after, we had learned that the dude that had hit GP with the cast had just murdered a store clerk. He held him up at knife point in the suburbs on the outskirts of Camden, and he ended up stabbing the clerk, and the clerk was wrestling the gentleman for the knife, and he ended up cutting his forearm and cutting himself in the process. So that's why he had the cast on when he came in. I guess the police took him to the hospital first to make sure he was right before they brought him to the Juvie detention center, you know what I mean? So after that, we kind of learned, who he was and all that. And we was like, dang, they had us up in there with murderers, molesters, and that was the thing that kind of messed my head up later on as I got older and realized, you know what I mean? As a 15-year-old kid, they would have me around 17, 18-year-olds. And these guys was in there for murder, rapes, all type of offenses. I mean, I'm in there for a couple little drug offense violations and stuff like that. You know what I mean? But they was, I mean, they in New Jersey, they put you up in a cell with anybody. You know what I'm saying? For real, for real.
Like, you said that dude had killed the gas station clerk?
Yeah, he oxed him up. You heard? Yeah, last he poked the clerk up, and they broke the story like 2 days after he got to our detention center in South Jersey, to Lakeland. And we all sitting in there, you know, watching the news and all that, because that was like one of the big things. Like, we was young and all that, but you'd be surprised how many of the young cats, when that 9, 10 o'clock, 6 o'clock news came on, we was all tuned into that, because it was like a connection to the outside. You know what I mean? You know how it is, last when you bid, and you get to just see any little fresh piece of info that's going on the outside. You kind of want to know and see. You know what I mean? So when that news came on, we was like, you know, we all glued on. But yeah, yo, he had stabbed up the gas station clerk after the clerk gave him the money. The clerk tried to, I guess, leap over the counter and wrestle him for it. He stabbed up the clerk, and he cut himself in that process. He came in with a nice big cast on that thing. Only thing you saw was his fingernails, his fingertips, and his elbow. Cast him all the way up to his elbow. I don't even know how they let him in our wing with that, because that was a weapon. He was in that joint with a stone cold weapon. Yeah, some crazy stuff, man. You know what I mean? Just a couple New Jersey stories, you know what I mean? Because I be hearing people get the jail joints, you know what I'm saying, the bed joints, and I ain't gonna lie, them joints always classic, and I'm appreciating all your material that you putting out, because, you know what I mean, you just formatted and know how to put them joints out. But, you know what I'm saying, the trenchy joints, like, you know how you had the kids with guns chasing your eggplant, like, I be feeling like sometimes we be needing to hear them joints too, you know what I mean? But you already expanded it and you know, and rose to that horizon, apparently, I mean, because you got a few of them out, you know what I'm saying, and plenty of them joints, you know what I'm saying. I even watched the reruns, you know what I'm saying. So I was just like, let me give a Camden joint, because I ain't heard nobody jump in from Camden on this channel, and Camden got stupid crazy history, you feel me? Like, we got people that on FBI files, we got people in Hollywood, we had people make the NBA, you know what I'm saying. Like, we got a couple notables from out the city, you know what I mean, and, you know, notable gangsters too. So, you know, I felt like I had to come in blessed, because I'm one of the ones that, you know, I ain't too old, but I ain't too young either, and I seen a little bit and been around for real, and I could tell them stories, you know what I mean, because I was really around, and I've been in the mix since I was a young cat, you know what I'm saying. I was always one of them young cats that was trying to run with the older cats and be nosy and all that, you know what I'm saying. I'm downstairs watching my mom and them play spades and all that 1, 2 in the morning on Friday, Saturday nights and shit, where everybody's supposed to be sleeping and all that. But I was that little kid, you feel me? One of my uncles and big cousins that passed me to 40. Like, I was one of them young bucks and shit. So I kind of always seen a lot growing up in my hood and was able to process a lot, because my mind was always a little bit faster than my age bracket. So I was, you know, I always was able to take things in a lot different than a lot of other cats in my neighborhood. Like, one from there, a lot of cats that I grew up with, to tell you, like, I'm one of the cats that everybody knew was going to be different. Like, you know what I mean? Because I always thought different. You know, I always was a different cat. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, word, yo, had to come and bless the Gen Pop fam, you know what I'm saying, and bless st.laz with a couple Camden stories, man. I appreciate you having me on this channel, Laz. Word up, man.
You know, I've been
this bucket list shit for me. You heard? Word up.
Appreciate you, man. You know, I've been trying to get some good Camden stories.
Man, listen, man, I got more people from Camden, man. You know what I'm saying? If you looking for them, bro, you ain't got to even look too much further. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm tapped in, and I know a lot of people came from my city. I'm somebody that's kind of like, not famous, but I know a lot of people, you know what I'm saying? And my family real big. I'm pretty known in the city. So, you know what I'm saying? I know a lot of people from all types of boroughs, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. And all of my family members on my mom and dad's side be getting money and been in the mix in Camden for years, you know what I mean? So, there's plenty of Camden stories out there.
Once I put this joint out, it'll have some Camden people hollering at me.
Yeah, yo, st.laz, I already told a couple of my homies that I was going to bless you with a couple stories. You know what I mean? I ain't give away too many crumbs, too many, you know what I mean? Because I just wanted to really bust it up with you and give you everything. But you know what I'm saying? I told a couple of my peoples and shit that I got in contact with you, and we might have been working tonight. So you know what I'm saying? I know a couple of my homies is going to hear this joint, and I ain't gonna lie, Camden going crazy, especially North Camden. And the guys that was up in Lakeland with me, they gonna come through, and they probably gonna hit this your comment box up all crazy, because what I'm telling you is real facts. You know what I'm saying? And that task force trapping our heroin on the block, That was real, man. That was on 5th and State and 5th and Grant out North Camden. You know what I'm saying? Back in what, 2004, 2005? I was there. I saw it, man. As a teenager, st.laz. And every task force agent was a juggernaut. Them niggas was all brawling. Nobody, it looked like none of them benched under 300. You heard? It was all massive. Dope out. I'm like, yo, I ain't never seen 12 white, Caucasian officers trapping in the hood like that before. It was crazy, Laz, and it's real, and it happened, man. And I'm glad, you gave me a platform to come in and give y'all the game like that.
I ain't even know you said they was white. I thought you meant they was all black.
Nah, st.laz, these was all up the highway, rural. You know what I mean? Big corn-fed, hay bench pressing crackers. You know what I mean? They all from up the high. That's what they do in Camden. They get a bunch of guys from up the highway to come and police us. And then that way, when they come to Camden, when you get police training, they kind of like desensitize you and make you treat everybody like a suspect almost in the city. So that's what they do with the cops. They get cops from way outside of the city and they get them to come police us. So when they come there, you hear the Camden rep and all that, you already come there on edge as a cop. So they come there and they get real violent, man. And it's been like that for a while. But that day, yeah, man, I think I might have seen one black cop out of all them guys that was out there trapping. st.laz, there might have been like 1 or 2 black cops. Everybody else was white. And they was, they yelling the name of the dope and everything. They out there yelling, yo, Scarface, I'm like, I couldn't believe it. I'm like, what the fuck, cuz? Like, I told you, cuz. Now you want to hustle? I'm like, hell no. I'm good. Because I already knew they was pounding on me. And I couldn't let them do that to me, man. But yeah, man, them boys was out there. I watched New Jersey State Police Task Force trap that out. And I highly doubt if they turned that in. You know what I'm saying? Listen, Laz, I'm watching you from the get-go. Like, soon as the gun went pow and you took off from the line, I was right there watching. Like, so you feel me? I really respect and got a real love for what you do at, and no pause type shit. But you took your own lane with it, and there was some guys kind of doing a 1-2 with it, but like you took this shit and took it to another level because it's so much history out the city where you from, and there's so much going on out there. Camden is a small city. You know what I'm saying? So if that much is going on, and can't imagine the stories that, the Riker joints you got, bro. I done heard all them joints. I be in the work and I drive, on the road, and I be bumping that joint on the road and all that. You feel me? So it's like, I really rock with the channel the long way, man. And I'm just like, it give me like a kind of joy, like to see like somebody from an environment that come from where I'm from, that took this shit and and made something out the crumbs. You feel me? Like you found that you seen the motherfucking diamond in the rough with this shit, and you took this shit and made it yours. And I ain't gonna lie, there's some guys kind of imitating and jumping on a fucking bandwagon, but ain't nobody never going be able to do what you do, like how you do it, bro. You do this shit, your cloth different with this shit, dog. I ain't gonna lie.
Appreciate
you. Cloth different with it, bro. And I be seeing people in the comments from all over, bro. I'm watching your shit right now. I ain't even gonna cap, bro.
Appreciate you, bro. I've been trying to take it to the next level, my nigga. I'm just trying to keep my head above water with this YouTube shit and take it to the next level.
You don't want to do it, man. I ain't gonna lie, because you got that gifted gab, like, and I ain't gonna lie, you got the humor so organic with you, like, it be like I'm watching one of my niggas kick it and tell a story in the hood, like that's what drew me to this shit. It's so organic. It feel like you just on a block and your man just came home like, yo, son, listen, up there we was X, Y, yada yada, and I'm like, damn, like that shit grabs me, because like that's really how we'll be on the block, really busting it up.